barakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to EWC, the Entrepreneurship World Cup, here from Saudi Arabia, Riyadh. One of the largest and most diverse competitions or startup pitch competitions and support programs of its kind. We are live from Saudi Arabia to the rest of the world online. Since launching in 2019, more than 400,000 founders from over 200 different countries have participated in the Entrepreneurship World Cup, with over 3 million in cash and 256 million worth of perks and support awarded. This year, after months of qualifying around the world, we are very excited to showcase 100 up-and-coming companies from 53 different countries that advanced to the global finals here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. All 100 will receive a $100,000 worth of perks and support to help them grow their startup, and we will return home with 5 only winners to share a $1 million prize pot. Yesterday, 5 out of the 20 qualified for finals to Sunday, and today, another 20 will pitch their innovative solutions to some of the world's toughest challenges. To explain further, earlier today, 50 qualified, 20 will be on this stage for the quarterfinals. For the semifinals, the 20 were selected to appear on this stage, and 5 of them only will advance to Sunday's finals. They will get a 3-minute pitch with the judges here and 2 minutes of Q&A. Before we leave tonight, 5 of them only will advance to the finals on Sunday, along with our top 5 yesterday. To get started, let me tell you, EWC is co-hosted by GEN, the Global Entrepreneurship Network, an organization working to make it easier for anyone, anywhere to start and scale companies, and also Munshaat, the Small and Medium Enterprises General Authority in Saudi Arabia, with the support from founding partner MISC Foundation, as well as One Valley, KAUST, and more strategic partners. My name is Yasser Sagaf. I'll be glad to host you tonight, and let's get this show started. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you Jonathan Ortmans, the founder and president of the Global Entrepreneurship Network, to tell you more about the impact of the competition.
Thank you so much. It's great. Hey, we need to have a round of applause for our MC. Hasn't he done a great job? Really appreciate it. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody. We're going to be launching as quickly as possible as we can into the startups. As you know, this competition is all about the leaders, not us, the feeders. It's all about those people, as was indicated, who are starting and scaling companies. But before we do that, I'd like to make sure, if we can, that we acknowledge a very, very important part of what we do at the EWC. As many of you know, all of you've been a part of the fact that we are both offering an accelerator in the months leading up to the GC. We're offering boot camps. We're offering connectivity. But in order to pull that together, there has to be national organizers in each country that understand what the startups are doing, who's got ideas, and what's happening. And so I wanted to take a moment tonight to specially recognize, both present and absent, all of the national organizers around the world who brought together the partners and found you, the startups, and of course thousands of others that tried their hand in this field. And in a moment, I'm going to invite our director of the EWC, you know, the fearless leader, Ana Maria Torres, to come on the stage and just mention a couple of things about those organizers. But I also want to pay heed also to a very important team, someone that you've all got to know if you're one of the startups present, to Carlos and Yehuda, and to the Gen Accelerates team. As I say, there's so many people working on the EWC for you behind the scenes, but you know, Carlos and his team have been simply amazing. They work around the clock, not just here at the event, but they're doing this for weeks leading into this. They're very much, along with our Gen Starters Club, going to be part of your life afterwards. Again, the fact that you got here as part of the 100, you are automatically given a complimentary membership into our Gen Starters Club, which means, I'm afraid, whether you want it or not, we're with you for life. We're going to be watching what you do with this company or with another company if you're serial entrepreneurs. We want to be there on your journey. We want to watch your story. And when you need and you trip and you fall and you need help, we'd like you to feel like you have a family. You have the Gen community around the world to help you. Finally, I do just want to remind you that you're in for a treat. A little bit later on, in a minute or two, you're going to be hearing a little bit about the news of the day, the challenging stories coming out of Silicon Valley. So if you're interested in, please beware that that is coming along in a second. But without further ado, please join me on the stage with someone who's led this effort from the beginning, since 2019, the Global Director of the Entrepreneurship World Cup, Ana Maria Torres. Thank you, Ana Maria.
Hello, everyone. I think everyone is ready? Ready for the semifinals? Well, very, very, very excited to be here. As you know, today is a very special day. We celebrate the second day of the global finals of the 2022. And to be here and to be able to share with you, the entrepreneurs and the organizers, is very special. But first of all, I want to say thank you to our global host, Monchat, for giving us this opportunity to work together and bring EWC to not just Saudi Arabia, but to the world. We're working now with 100 countries that have very, very diligently been working with us throughout the year to make sure that they identify top talent in their countries that can move on at a global level and can be here joining us today. So here at the global finals, we celebrate you, all of you, the startups. But we also have another special event, which is at the Global Entrepreneurship Congress, when we celebrate those national organizers, leaders in 100 countries that are definitely those ones that make sure that can identify the talent to move on at this level. So I want to recognize them because some delegations are here today from Argentina, Bangladesh, Finland, Spain, Qatar, the UAE, and I'm sure I can keep counting, and Singapore, and I can continue counting them. Very, very thanks for your participation. Our global partners as well. This initiative wouldn't be possible without the global support of other partners of One Valley, T-Gulf, Coast, and of course, those sponsors that join with us, SMB, that are here today. We really, really appreciate it. But now, before I go, I really wanted to say, for those of you that follow us online, that this is just the beginning of the semifinals, and we will be inviting you all to celebrate with us the participation of being part of a one global entrepreneurship ecosystem at Gen, where we want to celebrate those participants, those organizers with us at the EWC Summit. So here at the Global Finals is about the startups. At the GEC is about the global leaders, organizers, where we get together in Australia, Melbourne, September 19 to the 22. And I really hope all of you can join us because EWC started in 2019. And in 2019, we welcomed 60 countries to pilot EWC. And throughout the years, this initiative has grown. We now have more than 45% of governments at the national level supporting EWC in the countries. Around 35% of the competitions at the national level are led by the private sector, investors, academia, and at 25% by accelerators or NGOs. So we've seen that every year we're getting better support. And to have around 45% of those initiatives at the national level directly led or supported by the governments, it's a great, great achievement for all of us. We celebrated here with Monchad in Saudi Arabia, but we celebrated as well in November in Mexico as well. It was one of the largest events of the semifinals. It was celebrated in Monterrey, led by In Monterrey. And we pretty much have a similar audience. Around 100,000 people came for the national finals in Mexico. Just to give you an example of the magnitude of what you're involved at EWC. We all are proud to have you here. And without further ado, I just let the startups to continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Ana Maria. And now we have a special speaker, Rebecca Huang. Before that, we would like to thank our partners. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Munchaat. Thank you, MISC Foundation, and also SMB. Thank you so much. And our speaker is a Gen board member who is a true global citizen, educated at MIT and Stanford. She was recognized as one of the top 35 under 35 global innovators by MIT Tech Review. Please give it up for Rebecca Huang.
Can you hear me? There you go. Hello. Well, so today I was asked to give a perspective on the West. I live in Silicon Valley in California, the Sunshine State. And you may have heard some news from Silicon Valley, from San Francisco. And I'm here to tell you that everything is great. Only a few pickles. So we had the 16th largest bank in the US, Silicon Valley Bank, which holds half of all of the tech accounts in the US, startups, venture capital firms. And this bank closed down in 48 hours with no previous notice. And that's what we've been dealing with in San Francisco for the last couple of days. Then we had, after the pandemic, we had 10 massive floods in the San Francisco Bay Area. So the Sunshine State, no longer so much. We have water everywhere. Then last year we had the crypto crash. And now we have Silicon Valley Bank, one of the best known names in the world of technology, having just died suddenly. So my theory is that what we're doing in Silicon Valley is opening up room for all of you. Right? Emerging markets now. We are paying attention because when we think of Silicon Valley as the place to do business, because it's safe there, it's predictable, nothing weird happens, banks don't close down like they do in Argentina, where I'm from. Well, that's no longer true. And I think that's good news for some of you because markets like this one, the markets that you represent, now are going to have an opportunity to shine because places like San Francisco and California are having a bit of a meltdown. Now, I want to ask you, how many of you have read the news about Silicon Valley Bank? Okay, how many of you have questions? Because we can talk a little bit about that, if you do. Oh, nobody has questions. Everybody knows about this. One question. Well, let me give you just a brief summary on Silicon Valley Bank, because I think we can learn something from it that would be relevant for this competition and for all of your businesses. Lesson number one, what happened with Silicon Valley Bank is that the bank itself didn't really have major solvency issues. Yes, they were overexposed on certain types of clients, primarily from the startup community, which presents some challenges because cash flow in those companies is very variable. We're going through a downturn, a recession, and that does not allow you to mitigate risks. So one lesson from that, what is it? That we have to diversify. When you as a founder, we sit on the judging panel and say, what are your risks, right? And you say, well, that's not going to happen. This is not going to happen. We're going to have predictable outcomes. We now know that the most unimaginable things can happen when you are in this world of change and innovation and technology. So it's really important now than ever, because we have not seen a time of change this vibrant and this accelerated since the beginning of internet. So diversification and thinking about all of the possible crazy risks and mitigating those, more important than ever. Second lesson that we can draw from Silicon Valley Bank is pitch and storytelling. I think, in my opinion, what happened was not an issue of a bank doing fraudulent behavior. This was an issue of a bank telling a story extremely poorly. When they came out and explained why they were raising money to get a little bit of cash flow, to have some buffer in their liquidity, the presentation of that information was probably, in the history of Silicon Valley, one of the most lowest performance jobs in communication and storytelling of a company that we have seen. And storytelling today has become probably one of the most important criteria for success and survival for your company. Why? Because we have a lot of uncertainty and moving pieces. We're in a time when the technological development of generative AI, for example, in Silicon Valley, is making us truly wonder if we're going to be replaced by machines or not. We are wondering about the ethical implications of falling in love with an AI platform or a non-human individual. And all of these issues make it very difficult for us to have stability and predictability. So telling the story of what your company could do or could become, or how does it fit into this moving world, just imagine you're trying to catch an iceberg that's moving on a skateboard, and you're trying to balance. So you have to tell a story that really makes sense in lieu of all of that. Silicon Valley Bank didn't do that. And we saw how that didn't establish the trust building that they needed to be able to survive. And in 48 hours, $43 billion were wired out of this one bank, which, again, the 16th largest bank in the US, was not strong enough and big enough to withstand that kind of lack of confidence. And so storytelling is extremely important when it comes to your job here today in front of our judges, but also in your businesses. Because the consumer of tomorrow cares about your story, cares about where your product comes from, the supply chain, where the money goes, your personal story on why you care about this problem. All of this matters so much more than features, functionality, the technology behind your products. So I think we learned a very good lesson from Silicon Valley Bank and what's happening over there on the power of words. I tell my children, words are more powerful than swords. And I think today is much more meaningful than ever. And yesterday, Jonathan Normans promised a story about bees. Why do I talk about bees and honey when we talk about entrepreneurship? Because it turns out that bees are actually very entrepreneurial animals. I found out through a friend of mine who studies bees for a living that when bees are done with a hive, they're done with a location, they send scouts everywhere to locate a new home, the new place for their hive. And so these scouts go and roam around and see where they could find this new, beautiful, abundance-based home. And then they come back to their committee, to the rest of the hive. When they come back, they perform a presentation of their findings. And it turns out that bees do this by pitching their idea, their proposal on the new location to the rest of the hive. And they do that by dancing. The bees that dance and tell the story more effectively are the ones that will be chosen, and then the committee for the new location follows them to possible places, and if they like it, they'll move the entire hive into the new location. So a lesson here is when you come on stage, you gotta have that presence. Dance like bees, as big as you can, because being able to establish that emotional connection with your judges, with your audience, to being memorable, to making that presence in front of your investors, is going to be a key variable for your success when it comes to fundraising, but also in creating the story of the origin story of your company. So bees, we can learn a lot from bees and a lot of animals in this story. But also we learn the adaptability of bees because they don't stay in one location if things are not going well. And I'm glad I'm here when things are actually melting down back home, because this is inspiring. It means that maybe in San Francisco we're going to have 6 months of a very challenging time ahead of us. But look at this. There's energy, there's vibrancy, there's a really exciting and dynamic ecosystem forming right here in Saudi, in the Middle East. But then all of the countries that you're representing as well, it's really incredible, the amount of innovation, talent, the great solutions that you're developing and that you brought here to not only represent your companies, but to represent your countries and your ecosystems. So my last words, because I'm only here for 10 minutes, you're the stars today. My last advice is that come here as scouts, like the bees, make a really big presence and get everybody really excited, because you are telling the judges and everybody else that your country, your ecosystem is the next place where the hive should be, where all the honey should be. So with that, good luck. You have a really illustrious group of judges, and I'll see the finalists tomorrow for the grand finale. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Rebecca. Let's give her a big round of applause, please. Thank you for the speech. And we're gonna start right away. Okay, are you ready? What? I did not hear that. Are you ready? There you go. All right. All right, so we got 50 earlier today for the quarterfinals. We have 20 on this stage. 5 only will advance to finals on Sunday, along with the 5 yesterday. And then we got 10 companies or 10 startups running for $1 million worth of prize pot. All right, let's get this started. Before we jump into tonight's semifinals pitches, I would like to quickly introduce our judges for tonight. Donna Harris, please give it up for her. Swethal Kumar and Muhammad Azid. Let's get this started. Our first semi-finalist from the 20 tonight, Pragma Clin Research and Corporation, Bronwyn Bridges from Canada. We're going to go ahead and repeat the timer, Bronwyn, so we can give you the 3 minutes, and it starts right now.
So hello, everybody. My name is Bronwyn Bridges, and I am the CEO and co-founder of Pragma Clin, a digital health company based out of the east coast of Canada. But before I tell you a bit about where we are today, I would like to tell you about the inspiration that got us started. So meet my co-founder, Gord. During his 50s, he started to notice some gait and slowness when running in marathons. He brushed it off as an age-related symptom, as sadly many people do, until a few years later, he started to notice he was having trouble with his balance and trouble shaving in the morning. He went to seek help to see a neurologist and was told it was a 1 to 2 year wait time to be seen. Now, Gord, he's not alone. Currently, right now, there is 10 million Parkinson's patients worldwide, and with our aging population, that number continues to double. When you do get in to see a neurologist, the subjective assessment is incredibly subjective, and it leads to 25% of the cases being misdiagnosed. It also leads to 1 appointment per year in a lot of jurisdictions, and patients are feeling lost within our healthcare system. Clinicians are also feeling the burnout from the amount of reporting that they're doing. So the market size for remote monitoring for Parkinson's disease alone is a $9.6 billion market opportunity. For us, it's an annual addressable of about $1.6 billion, but as we grow and scale within the clinics we're already in to stroke rehabilitation, MS, and more, it becomes a $5 billion add-on for other neuro conditions. So we wanted to be able to help patients like Gord see help faster and hopefully catch disease progression earlier on. We created the Parkinson's Remote Interactive Monitoring System. We wanted to use off-the-shelf hardware in a unique way to offer that low-cost package solution that's great competitors for the systems on the market that don't cover all of the motor and the non-motor conditions of the disease. So we use real-time motion capture in the clinic to be able to assess patients and at-home surveys to combine all those scores to track full progression. We're then able to provide comprehensive, accessible data and notifications for both the clinician and the patient so that they can track previous history, view trends, and be alerted through our AI algorithms of any progression in symptoms that need to be rapidly addressed through physical therapy and titrating medications. We're building a presence in the UAE, the UK, and the US through our trial participants that then become paid users in the hospitals through procurement opportunities. We're then moving on to smaller movement disorder clinics, and then down the road, pharmaceutical companies to complete clinical trials on new drug discovery. We house all of the IP and the data within PragmaClin so that we can monetize on our database in the future as well. We've leveraged $1 million in non-dilutive government funds through the Government of Canada to be able to scale our technology and our team. And we've been able to secure 4 validation trial contracts as well with some Parkinson's centers of excellence across the globe. We'll be profitable within 3 years to our B2B subscription SaaS model, and we have a team that's ready to make it happen with background in tech, business, and lived experience as well. We have advisors from across the globe who actually will be able to implement this in their clinic and see the benefit and the value. And so we're currently raising $1.5 million, and we hope you'll join us. Thank you.
All right, Bronwyn, right on time. 2 minutes for Q&A with the judges.
I'll go ahead and start. Can you give us a sense of what those 4 trial customers are paying? And also tell us a little bit about what kind of competitive moat you have around your product, patents, IP protection?
Hello. So we've done some patent searching as well. Patenting an algorithm is a little bit more difficult, but we do have promising figures from what we've gathered through our lawyers. And so we're currently going through that process as we speak. We are a little bit on the earlier on stages. For the trial partners, the subscription model looks a little bit different. Right now, we're selling it as a B2B SaaS based on a per patient per appointment. But the models that look a bit different in the private healthcare, such as the UAE, they're more on an annual subscription where they license the software out for the whole hospital, and then they can monetize every time they bring a patient in. So it does look quite different between public and private.
I don't know. Actually, you mentioned about the UAE market. What's the reason of entering into the UAE market when you're starting from Canada and US? And also just want to understand that this motion detection technology is there for quite some time. So how easy to emulate by this technology and adopt to fine-tune to this particular industry?
Great question. So people always ask why Canada and we scale. We found neurology partners within the UK, which is a similar market to us, and those neurology partners actually do clinics in the UAE, but it's on a privatized model. So they recommended we actually started in the UAE because it was private. It's easier to scale, start and validate the technology, and then grow from there. So we're starting with the UAE because it's a bit faster to get to market, to have first revenue so we can build on that. And with the motion capture, we wanted to be able to have it so that it assesses all of the symptoms, and really that's why we chose this off-the-shelf hardware. We have a partnership with Intel, and we're currently using that to be able to leverage through being able to scale our technology that way.
Yeah, just want to know who are the biggest customers you have?
The biggest customers, so we're currently not in revenue net, we're not selling, so our customers are going to come from those trials, and we have contracts written up for the trials to validate. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. PragmaClin Research, Bronwyn Bridges from Canada. Thank you so much. Coming up on stage, the Leaf Protein, Fern Ho from Australia.
Hi, I'm Fern, CEO and co-founder of the Leaf Protein Co. We exist to help food manufacturers make better packaged foods using superior protein ingredients that we unlock from Earth's most abundant source of protein, leaves. Now, despite the astronomical growth in the packaged plant-based food market, global manufacturers rely on just 3 plant proteins, of which soy and wheat make up 90% of that market. This makes it really difficult for the food manufacturers to create new products and diversify their customer base, as well as the fact that the UN and World Health Organization recognize soy and wheat as the biggest plant-based food allergens. So even if you don't have an allergen, which I do to these ingredients, 25% of Australians and 30% of Americans actively choose to avoid these ingredients even though they don't have an intolerance to them. This is why we've created a new category of plant proteins that not only meet these consumer needs, but more importantly, that of the food manufacturers who make these foods, who are seeking alternative, clean label proteins. Our proprietary extraction process is platform technology that allows us to extract leaf protein from any plant source to help food companies go from using just 3 to an abundance of plant proteins. My co-founder, Connor, has been researching our process for the last 3.5 years and is completing his PhD on this. I've had over 17 years experience in product management and product marketing in the B2B and B2C space. Our advisors have many decades experience in food manufacturing, commercializing novel ingredients, and deep research in leaf protein extraction, leading to a number of patents. So we buy our leaf leaf material from grown sources as well as take it from waste streams. We then apply our proprietary extraction process to produce our clean label functional proteins that we sell to the food manufacturers who use it to formulate their finished goods. So far, we've optimized and baselined our extraction process and done initial pilot scale productions. So now we're scaling up production, aiming for commercial volumes by 2024. We've already validated the extraction of our ingredient from a range of plant sources and have the green light to go to market in Singapore and the US. We also have agreements.
All right, thank you, Fern. It is time for 2 minutes of Q&A with the judges.
Yeah, can you tell us, please, about the expected profitability?
Can you hear me? Yeah, absolutely. So this is one of our key IP positions, the cost of the extraction, which to date has always been economically unscalable. Our proprietary process allows us to use certain type of technologies so that we can produce for less than $10 per kilograms. In fact, we're targeting around $6 per kilograms in terms of total cost of output, making us very competitive in terms of a go-to-market product price.
Can you tell us about the competitive landscape?
Sure. So at the moment, there's no commercial leaf protein ingredients in the market. All the alternative proteins are either plant proteins, specifically, are predominantly from your pulse markets or your traditional ingredients. The only other proteins that are out there are focused on your much more deep tech that require more research, whereas we're able to go to market a lot faster.
It's a more capital-intensive business. So are you planning to set up your own facility, or you want to outsource? And if you want to set up your own facility, where you plan to do?
Yeah, so we actually have already located our pilot plant facility in Queensland, Australia. The reason for that is we actually had a grower reach out to us because they wanted to use their crops as a leaf protein source. So that place will be our first R&D, which we'll be able to scale up. And we will be looking to license our process at a later stage so that we can expand and scale up production elsewhere.
Any more questions?
It's a quick follow-up question. So what's the target market? Are you planning to target in Australia or Pacific region, or is it going to be global?
I'm based in Melbourne, and we're looking at the Asia-Pacific region. As you saw, Singapore definitely is a green light for us. My co-founder's based in North America, so that's our second region as well.
Thank you.
Any more questions? All right. Thank you so much. The Leaf Protein, Fern Ho from Australia. Coming up on stage, Nurture, Lee Jong-hoon from Singapore.
Good evening, judges. I'm John, the co-founder of Nurture. Nurture is an end-to-end support ecosystem for the global nursing community, utilizing AI, big data, as well as community platforms in addressing the global nursing shortage. Before I proceed, let me share with you some of the insights of the context behind what we're trying to do. As you can see, there's a serious issues of a global nursing shortage in the world, and the big issue is it doesn't only impact the healthcare sector, it impacts everybody, your families and your friends. The most important thing we should remember is that there's no technology or robots that could replace the nurses 100%. Hence, what Nurture does is, we believe in an hybrid approach, where our tech products is complemented by our human touch elements. So what we do is that, like Alaga RN, is a community and talent sourcing platform. And the mandate of Alaga RN is to be nurse's friend, confidant, as well as a mentor. For Nurture NCLEX, this is an assessment tool where we assess and benchmark the nurses in the global standards. As we all know, the standards of education and the healthcare is different from every market. As shared, what is Nurture NCLEX? Nurture NCLEX is an edutech platform of assessment where we utilize AI technology to make sure that nurses fit the right market where they go. The business model for Nurture NCLEX is a subscription model. Now for Alaga RN, this is a unique platform because it's a community and a talent sourcing platform. As we know, there's a global shortage, and the way for us to address the talent is given the right information, as well as clear path of a job opportunity for them in the global market. Why are we doing this? Because we're tapping the nurses to go international. I have an experience over 20 years in business development as well as go-to-market execution. What's important is my co-founder. Paul is actually a nurse practitioner with over 30 years experience, not only as as an actual nurse, but also a healthcare entrepreneur who has recently exited his business in wound management in the US. We also have a panel of international experts representing the stakeholders because they all have their own agenda in trying to address the issue. Now, let me share you a screen cap of our revenue model. Now, you can see, right? Alaga represents 78% of revenue. Why is this? Because currently we have serious interest from 3 destination markets who want to tap our community to supply nurses to their market. And if you can see that there's a key milestone in August, it's because we are looking to deliver a first batch of international nurses to the first destination by August. Now, what is our ask? We've been bootstrapping for more than a year now, and what we're trying to do is raise $1 million for 10% equity so that we could fast track and fast scale our startup, because we have to remember the crisis of nursing shortage is here and it's going to stay for many years. We have to remember there's no technology that can 100% replace the nurses in the current healthcare system.
Thank you so much, Nurture. Thank you, Lee Jong-hoon. It's time for 2 minutes Q&A, please.
I think you are addressing the right problem, but the thing is that this market in a different country has a different nursing regulations. So I want to understand, how will you assess the gap to meet the, let's say, demand side? And how are you going to plan to penetrate to different market? For example, India is a large suppliers of nurse as well. So on Philippines and Singapore, what's your thinking?
Very good question. So that's why we have a product called Nurture NCLEX. This is the assessment platform. We utilize the AI technology to make sure we have the right fit. Because we have to remember, a lot of nurses from developing countries like India, Philippines, they all want to go to the US or UK or Australia. But there are nursing shortages everywhere. So what we do is we assess their skill sets and the requirements and match them to the right market. Because we have to start their journey somewhere. It doesn't have to end up in, let's say, in US, but it could go through Saudi Arabia, Singapore, and potentially to UK or Australia. So that's our platform that we're using for assessment.
So your slides say that it's $94 a month. You're charging the nurse that fee?
It's $94 for 3 months. We also offer one-on-one consultation. Yes.
And is there a fee that you're charging to the systems that you're matching them to? Is there any business model related to the health systems?
That's an excellent question because, yes, we charge for the assessment fee, but for placement, we don't. The job order gets placed into the community, we do the assessment, and who pays us is actually the hospital providers as well as the government agencies per community.
Do you have any data on your placement rates?
Yes, we understand, like in Singapore, is around 12% to 15% of the annual salary. We don't take it all, we take half of it, because the half will be passed to the placement agency, who will now become a transactionary body rather than a strategic role they play today.
Yeah, what is your break-even point?
Yes,
break-even point.
Break-even point. As you can see, our cost is very low. It's very scalable. We already have around 200 assessment quizzes.
All right, we're going to stop right here. Sorry to cut you off, but the 2 minutes are up. Thank you so much. Coming up next on stage, Holo Medical, David Hudson from Canada.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is David Hodson. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Holo Medical. I'm a mechanical engineer and a graduating physician. It's a privilege to be here. Assalamu alaikum. At Holo, we're working to resolve the burden of chronic respiratory illness with a pocket-sized drug delivery device. This is Sophia. She's 6 years old, and she has asthma. Unfortunately, she's been in the emergency department not once, but 3 times in the last year. And I want you to think about how scary that is for her and for her family. The first-line treatment for her is a pressurized inhaler and a valve holding chamber. And you can see that is a massive chamber. It takes most of her face. She relies on that from home to school to soccer practice, even on sleepovers. Chambers are necessary. They make sure the drug gets to the lungs instead of the mouth and the back of the throat. But for obvious reasons, as few as 10% of people use one. Our goal was to improve global adherence of this necessary device so that we can reduce the millions of hospitalizations, emergency visits, and respiratory-related deaths worldwide. But no one wants to carry something the size of a thermos, regardless of the benefits. Everyone carries a cell phone, though, right? So I introduced to you the Breezy Chamber, where we've reinvented this device from the ground up to fit comfortably in a pocket with world-first technical advancements. We worked over a year to develop this device, but we didn't do it alone. We took the input of hundreds of end users to make sure we were solving a real problem in their life. We were solving it effectively. Perhaps more exciting than the size of the device alone is our world-first flow control system that makes sure patients like Sophia breathe properly every time, taking technique out of the equation. And that means that more of the drug than even the standard chamber can be delivered with each breath. Our initial target market are the millions of children in North America that could use this device today. At a $60 price point, it's both affordable and reimbursable, and we have a 91% gross profit on our wholesale price, projecting a 3-year revenue of nearly $30 million. When we look at the global picture, as well as other respiratory illnesses like adult asthma and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, it becomes a much bigger picture. We have a proven team. We've brought medical device to market in the past. We've got over 40 years of clinical experience, as well as startup finance expertise. And we're backed by an international clinical advisory board, experts in their field that want this device not only for their patients, but to their broader network around the world. We're really proud of what we've accomplished on very little. We've got almost $500,000 in non-dilutive national awards, 2 patents, 3 trademarks. We've got a letter of intent with a national distributor worth over $2.5 million. And we're setting the stage for rapid growth and widespread accessibility to the patients who need this around the world. But we need help. We're currently trying to close our current round of funding where we have 50% committed, and we're also looking for strategic partners so that we can fulfill our vision to disrupt the $60 billion pulmonary drug delivery market, so that patients like Sophia can focus on what they love in life instead of what's holding them back. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's time for Q&A. You've got 2 minutes.
Yeah, what are the sales channels that you have?
So the primary sales channel that we're looking at, it's obviously a complex sale. You got the customer, the prescriber, and then you need to get it on a pharmacy shelf. We need to make it accessible. Our initial go-to-market strategy is to partner with these bigger distributors that already have channels and leverage their sales network. Because we're a small company, it's very cost-effective for us. So our initial strategy is to leverage existing channels, which we've done across Canada, so that we can reach the entire country overnight. Beyond that, we're looking for other partners, whether that's in aerosol delivery or other distributors in other countries, so we can replicate that same model.
Tell me about other innovations in this space.
Oh, so it's relatively stagnant. There's a lot of folks that are looking forward 10 years from now, and very minimal focus on this device, which tends to be somewhat of a monopoly in the market. The innovation in the space that's occurred include bag spacers, so collapsible bags that you can't clean, or paper spacers that you can throw out. No one has created a novel approach to this tube-like device, which actually is relied upon by millions of people every single day. It's a bit of a forgotten hole in pulmonary drug delivery, and we hear it every day in clinic from prescribers, from patients. So we're hoping that we've captured a real opportunity here.
What are the risks and challenges that you are anticipating? Because I know you mentioned about the FDA clearance, which you're targeting this year. The reason why I'm asking, because I've seen a device, it's a circle round shape, which has like 100 count. You can inhale up to 100. So there's a large corporate, actually a large pharma company coming out there. So they are catching up. So do you see there's a threat?
So what we see is we're planning to partner with
Unfortunately, we've got to stop. I know you want to continue the answer, but it is what it is. 2 minutes are up. Thank you so much, David Hudson from Canada. Coming up on stage, Trade Walls, Satoru Sumiya from Japan.
Hello, we are Trade Walls from Japan. I'm the Satoru Sumiya, founder of this company. We, TradeWise, is providing the digital trade platform utilizing blockchain technology made by all Japan members to create the future of trade. We've already got the investment from the 15 Japanese company, including NTT, Toyota, Mitsubishi Group, and 4 billion Japanese yen, and awarded the potential unicorn in first year, and managing the trade DX consortium, including 180 major companies in Japan. We are focusing on the analog B2B communication in trade. In trade sector, there are so many stakeholders, including those sectors, and making the cross-industry communication. But that communication is done by the facsimile, or the PDF-based, or the paper-based, so taking so much time and cost. So we created the TradeWise, a digital trade platform, communication DX platform, to utilize the blockchain technology to streamline the cross-industry communication. This cuts the time and cost for the more than 44% in the world. And our revenue model, the base charge, we can cut the cost for the trade users around $50 per trade. So we are charging the service fee for 30%, the $15 per trade. Additionally, we are now making the API linkage with the trade-related service and making the App Store to charge additionally. Our competitiveness, we are having the patented blockchain technology and also the cross-industry model. The patented technology secures the data, and also this market has one industry platform, but only one, TradeWise, has the cross-industry model. And our market sum is $1 billion for the digitalizing trade in Japan, but we are expanding to global and also making the value-added service, and TAM is $825 billion. And we've already got the 30 paid users in Japan and making the 120 company in abroad, and expanding our business to global with the Japanese government support, and connecting the APEC 4 economies by the system linkage already, and go to the market of ASEAN 10 countries with the government support. And also creating the value-added service utilizing the IoT sensors and the digital currency payment. This is the first case of the world. And we will increase the revenue and go to coverage in 2026.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
2 minutes for a Q&A.
Okay.
This API that you mentioned with the customs and governments, how you plan to achieve with the different countries?
We are providing the English screen or other language screen to provide to other countries. So, provide to other countries directly.
So when you say that you cut their cost, it's 1/3 less. Is that hard cost? Is that people, salary, headcount?
Creating three costs: the human labor cost, and sending the physical mail cost, and also the storing cost of the paper document in warehouse.
You have a good customer base in Japan, but what is your plan to expand customer base internationally?
Yes. In Japan, we can gather the customer base through the stakeholder 15 major companies, and also promoting by the newspapers. And go to international, we are making the partner with the other countries' platform, because I'm the United Nations effect member and the ICC International Chamber of Commerce member, so getting the partners all over the world.
Right. No more questions? Thank you so much, Satoru Sumiya from Japan. Coming up next on stage, the 6th semi-finalist, Hole Nick Stamaccio from Australia.
Hi, I'm Nick Stamaccio, CEO and co-founder of Whole, and we create technology that maximizes nutrition and delivers the world's most sustainable ingredients. 1/3 of the food produced in the world is never consumed. It's clear to see that our food system is broken, and if we look at food production for the last 200 years, it's easy to see why, with massive amounts of wasted energy, water, and nutrition all along the value chain. This didn't make sense to us, so we've developed a unique processing technology that explodes ingredients at a cellular level, creating tiny particles that are both highly functional and nutritious. We call this process WINX, our whole ingredient nutrient extraction process. WINX can be applied to almost any input ingredient and eliminates waste completely by turning it into a functional product. One of our most advanced applications is in relation to oats, where we currently produce the cleanest label oat milk in the world. With only 2 ingredients, oats and water, the WINX technology can achieve all of the functional properties of dairy whilst retaining the whole of the oat without waste. Now, there's no denying that the size of the market for plant-based ingredients is huge and growing rapidly as consumers move more towards environmentally friendly options. With a looming food crisis, our early focus is on grains and legumes as a valuable source of protein, as well as the upstream waste that occurs between farms and ingredient manufacturers. Looking at the value chain for food production, there's been huge amounts of investment at both ends of the spectrum, but very little in ingredient manufacturing, where the real bottleneck is starting to occur. The WINX technology is not only disruptive, but directly addresses changing consumer preferences and enables food manufacturers to service those needs. The interest in our oat concentrate has been phenomenal, and we currently have 6 major groups wanting to partner with us to bring our clean label oat milk to market under a licensing model. Aside from oats, we are also undertaking 5 paid trials of our technology and working with research groups to better understand how our tech enhances nutrition and reduces allergens. In terms of our team, we're a group with a history of working together and a proven track record of successfully commercializing technologies. We have a unique blend of technical expertise, commercial savvy, and international experience that will see us succeed on a global stage. We recently concluded our seed capital raise, and a portion of those funds are being used to set up a dedicated oat production facility, with the remainder being focused on researching the use of the WINX technology for the extraction of valuable bioactive compounds. In order to accelerate the growth of our business, we're currently seeking courageous local partners that share our vision for eliminating waste and creating more nutritious food, as well as strategic advisors that can help us to navigate our global expansion. Once again, my name is Nick Stamatier from Whole, and let's make the world a better place for our children by enabling sustainable nutrition for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. Right on time, 5 minutes earlier. 2 minutes for Q&A.
Thanks, Nick. You mentioned you had companies, quote, wanting to partner. What does that mean exactly? Do you have any license agreements signed? What sort of traction does that actually represent?
Thanks. We're currently in the final throes of a negotiation of an agreement with one of the largest ingredient manufacturers in the world, looking to set up production of a facility to do a functional oat product in Malaysia, using Australian produce and projecting that into the Asian region.
Give an example of the economics of something like that.
That will enable us to do distribution into key markets in Thailand, in Vietnam, and in Indonesia. And that's just one of the applications that we have in oats. We're a platform technology, so we're already looking ahead and things like lupin as well, which will be the next application that we'll focus on. Yeah.
I'm asking more about revenue, financial impact.
For us, that's sort of a blended model. It will be a licensing model that we'll undertake, but we'll also joint venture with them to do revenue share on all the distribution of those products into the Asian region. Yeah.
So what is the value of a contract like that to your organization?
If oats is successful in the Asian region, it's in the vicinity of $200 to $300 million. Yeah.
With one contract?
Yeah.
I just want to understand what sort of a clearance required for your products, whether it's health authority or food authority, some clearance. I don't think it's covered.
The clearance, sorry?
The clearance from either you require for food authority or health authority for your product, the ingredients. Do you need?
That's currently what we're working on with our partner in Asia. Yeah. So the clearance to be able to sell a product like this is what we're working on right now. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. Let's give it up for Nick Stamaccio. Coming up next, 3DK Tech Limited, Alexandro Georgia Telita from China.
Hello? Okay. So why has metal 3D printing not replaced conventional manufacturing? I spent the last decade getting a PhD to find the core problem and patenting the technology that solves it. Hi, I'm Alex, and I founded 3DK Tech to replace conventional manufacturing. You might ask yourself, why? Well, manufacturing accounts for 6 gigatons of CO2 emitted every year. You might say, that's less than energy, which is 15 gigatons, right? But those 15 gigatons, 4 of those actually are for manufacturing. That means 10 gigatons every year go to the manufacturing industry. And the global manufacturing industry is massive, $11.2 trillion. We've identified a $17 billion market in the aerospace industry, and we've identified it bottom up. So this is actually potential revenue. And 3D printing can actually reduce CO2 by a factor of 20 times less, the same with energy consumption. Now, let me give you an economic example. That's what moves the needle at the end of the day. This is a compression blade assembly, a smaller part of a larger aircraft jet engine. Conventionally manufacturing it takes between 2,000 and 5,000 hours and between $30,000 and $80,000 to manufacture. Our direct and indirect competition can 3D print it and shave off a little bit of those numbers, but we are actually able to reduce those numbers by a factor of 10 because we're able to eliminate every other step thanks to our higher quality 3D printing technology. And through that technology, we'll be able to generate $200 million in revenue by 2032. And obviously, we already have traction on that. We have billion-dollar companies in the semiconductor and aviation industry that, in their own words, they want to use our technology, but there's no need for heat treatment, and our products are highly durable and have higher quality. We've been granted patents, we've been awarded grants, third-party international recognition, including 500 startups, global. We've raised our pre-seed round, and we're 3 pilots in and 3 pilots in waiting. This year, we're fundraising our seed round, and we'll be expanding into the Middle East and North Africa region. We're able to do that because we have a very strong team and very diverse. I'll just mention my co-founder, Chris, who's got 15 years experience in the aviation sector, working with GE and Rolls-Royce. We also have great advisors. But I'm here to ask for your help in raising our $2.5 million seed round, getting pilot program partners, and looking for advisors in this region.
Thank you, Alexandro. Thank you. We're done with the 3 minutes. You've got 2 minutes for a Q&A.
Yes. Do you think it's easy for customers to understand and use your product?
That's a very good question. It's not very easy. That's why we actually also offer a service model where we work with our customers to help them integrate metal 3D printing into their workflow and identify what works best for them, both economically and risk-wise.
Help me understand, are you selling 3D printer or licensing to company to make 3D printer, or are you selling components?
Right, I apologize for that. I forgot to mention. We are on a hardware as a service model, which we'll be launching in 2024. We've identified a partner that will manufacture our first batch of printers that will then modify with our technology and sell further on. In our second generation, we'll be manufacturing it ourselves. Right now, we're offering services to our customers to get comfortable with 3D printing.
Thank you.
We've got 50 more seconds. Any more questions?
Just a follow-up. What will be the switching cost for a company to move from existing component to your components?
Would you mind saying that again? I couldn't hear it right.
Switching costs for a company to move from traditional or conventional component to your component, because they have to look at the entire supply chains. So you got a feedback from large companies?
Right. We've been approached independently by larger companies wanting to start using our technology. And we have 2 companies that want to use it, and we need capital to be able to deliver that to them. It's a slow process, but they are already making first steps.
And we're done. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's give it up for Alexandro George Talita from China. Coming up next on stage, Hera Health Solutions, Idikula Matthew from the United States.
It's not working. The clicker is not working.
All right, we're going to give you your time when it starts. Idikula Matthew from the United States, Hera Health Solutions. All right, let's do it.
I'm not sure if it's user error or if the clicker just is not working. Well, the presentation doesn't seem to be pulled up either.
We've got a technical issue, Idikula. Can you give us a couple of seconds? We'll restart your time, and you'll get your 3 minutes fully. Ladies and gentlemen, 20 semi-finalists going on stage for 5 to advance to Sunday for a share of $1 million prize pot. We're here live from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia to the rest of the world. EWC, Entrepreneurship World Cup. To remind you, ladies and gentlemen, the Entrepreneurship World Cup, one of the largest and most diverse startup pitch competitions and support programs of its kind. We're live from Saudi Arabia to the rest of the world, and we have launched since 2019 more than 400 founders from over 200 countries that have participated in EWC.
All right. Wait. Woo! Hey, everybody. My name is Adikula Matthew, co-founder, CEO of Hera Health Solutions. And you don't need me to tell you that there are amazing advances in the discovery of new medicines every year.
Adikula, can you give me just a second to restart the 3 minutes so I can give you the full 3 minutes, unless you want to go for 2?
No, let's go. Yeah, if you can restart it, that'll be great. I'll start over.
We'll get it restarted.
I've been on the stage for a minute now, right?
Yeah, I'll take that.
Hey, everybody. My name is Adikula Matthew, co-founder, CEO of Hera Health Solutions. And we are unlocking the true potential of the world's therapeutics. There are amazing advances in the discovery of new therapeutics, but the delivery mechanism to the body is often overlooked. And at the end of the day, an ineffective drug delivery mechanism means an ineffective medicine. This is especially true for long-acting therapeutics, or drugs that are supposed to be steady state release to the body for extended periods of time. Now, there are amazing technologies on the market today, like implantables, or small matchstick-sized rods that are very good at delivering a drug to the body until that implant needs to be removed. Huge issues surrounding bruising, scarring, unfortunately, even migration of the implant upon that removal process, which is why we're so excited about what we're developing at Hera Health, the first ever bioerodible drug delivery implant platform, delivering a drug to the body while the material degrades, completely eliminating the need for removal. Our secret sauce actually lies in our nanofiber-based manufacturing process, and we're one of the first companies with a very early mover advantage, bringing this revolutionary technology to the pharmaceutical industry. Our technology works. Utilizing our drug delivery platform, meet our first product that's currently going through FDA trials, the first ever biodegradable generic contraceptive releasing implant. But at Hera Health Solutions, we don't just reformulate generics for the market. We're a drug delivery company, and we have seen some exciting interest from some of the world's largest pharmaceutical companies that are excited about utilizing our drug delivery technology to deliver their drugs. We're talking chronic disease, opioid addiction treatment, and even oncology. We already have 2 contracts in place with 7 more pharma companies that have lined up with interest over the course of the past year. Each of these contracts represent a 7 or even 8-figure agreement for Hera Health Solutions. As a flexible drug delivery technology, we're operating in a total addressable market well over $800 billion. We're so excited about our traction to date, scaling our manufacturing processes and developing key partnerships with strategics like the Gates Foundation that are crucial to our expansive go-to-market strategy. Now, none of this would have been possible without our amazing team. We actually met each other as researchers at Georgia Tech and MIT. We have one successful healthcare exit underneath our belt and bring decades of experience in revolutionizing and bringing healthcare technologies to the market. We're so excited to be here today as we are looking forward to raising out our next Series A upcoming round to expand our pharmaceutical industries as well as our manufacturing processes for more technologies to enter our pipeline. Thank you so much for your time. Please join us on our journey to unlock the true potential of the world's therapeutics. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Nicola. Now 2 minutes for Q&A.
Do you see your company being acquired by a large company in 2 to 3 years? Are you getting some interest from such companies?
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. We are a drug delivery technology that's directly looking at licensing agreements with big pharma, and this is very strategic for them to utilize technologies like ours, where they have multiple APIs, active pharmaceutical ingredients in their portfolio. Once we start to show great pharmacokinetic data with our drug delivery, it's very, very probable for us to be a great acquisition target for big pharma.
You mentioned you're going through FDA trials. What's the estimated timeline for that? And is that just for the first delivery, the birth control product?
Yeah, totally. I don't know if you finished your question, but drug delivery is very unique in the manner that you need to get approved for each indication. So our drug, the best part about our technology is our materials are approved, so that heavily truncates our FDA regulatory pathway. We're actually qualified as a combination drug product going through the accelerated 505(b)(2) for our first indication. So that's about 3 to 4 years. We're already 2 years into that, showcasing really great data, and that data is what's really exciting some of these pharma companies.
And you mentioned the contracts have 7 to 8 figure potential. What does that actually mean? What does that mean in terms of near-term revenue?
Yeah, so the contracts really are determinate based off of which drug we're delivering. So I can tell you one of them is a generic animal health. So that's really, it's a smaller market. The other one is an opioid addiction, much larger market. So the contracts are going to be based off of how large the industry is for the drug that we're delivering and which markets the pharma companies looks to explore that in.
Yeah, just a quick question. Do you have any registered patents?
Yes, our technology came out of Georgia Tech and MIT. We have a world-class patent team, 8+ patents on specifically our nanofiber-based manufacturing process.
Thank you so much. Hera Health Solutions from the United States, Edicula Matthew. Coming up on stage, Ixam Food Technology, Felix Chung from Hong Kong.
Hello, everyone. This is Felix, founder and CEO of Exxon Hong Kong. I'm a scientist with background in physics, food science, and microbiology. Our company has developed a technology called Advanced Sous Vide Aseptic Packaging, or ASAP, which promises to make fish, seafood, and meat greener by enabling their storage at room temperature. Meat is very much in the news these days because of its carbon footprint. According to FAO estimates, CO2 emission from meat in 2017 was 3 billion tons. Among these emissions, 160 million tons comes from refrigeration transportation, and 500 million tons comes from food waste and loss. Global meat consumption is projected to grow by 33% in the next 30 years. As if that's not bad enough, there's no sign of slowing down, even with the introduction of plant-based meats. We must make meat more sustainable, or we'll be eating our way to extinction. ASAP technology enables the shipment, storage of precisely cooked meat and seafood at room temperature. By circumventing cold chain, extending shelf life, and reducing food wastage, our solution can cut 600 million tons of carbon dioxide a year, equivalent to saving 2/5 of the Amazon forest. ASAP preserves meats and seafood through the combination of surface sterilization, which removes bacteria, as well as aseptic packaging, which protects food from contamination. Without spoilage microorganisms, meat, seafood can be stored at room temperature without refrigeration or preservatives. Unlike fresh and frozen products, ASAP products are shelf-stable, are ready to eat, and have extended shelf life for up to 2 years. Unlike canned food, ASAP products deliver the same sensory experience as fresh and frozen meats. Exxon is a B2B company with a hybrid business model. We sell equipment and plant design services to our customers so they can make ASAP products. Our customers then pay us an annual fee for the delivery of ongoing services and also the rights to use our technology. We have made significant progress over the last few years. We've conducted pilot projects, formed strategic partnerships, and run Kickstarter campaigns where we sold 1,000 units of products. We are now expanding into Canada, and we'll be conducting consumer acceptance studies in Australia, Indonesia, South Korea, and UAE. Here is a photo of us announcing our move with Invest Alberta at the Canadian Consulate of Hong Kong. In the next 36 months, we'll build all pieces necessary to launch ASAP products on the market. This includes getting food safety approval and building a co-packing facility at Edmonton International Airport. Our team comprises scientists, engineers, and intellectuals from a variety of fields in Canada and Hong Kong. We are now raising a $5 million seed round to secure our runway for the next 3 years. Let's together create a brighter and greener future. Thank you.
Thank you. 2 minutes for Q&A.
Can you explain more on the unit economics? I didn't understand when you mentioned about the customers paying annual fees and how your unit economics work.
So initially, in order for them to create meat products, our products, we help them convert existing factories or build new factories by providing the plant design. We also sell them the aseptic isolator as well as equipment in order to realize that production line. And then we have a recurring revenue generated through royalty and also maintenance, consumables, things like that.
Have you obtained all required certifications, approvals?
We are very lucky. We are working closely with Health Canada, Canadian Food Inspection Agency, as well as University of Alberta in getting the food safety approval, performing the challenge studies needed to get the certification.
Can you talk about customer perception? We've all been raised to refrigerate our meats and not eat if it hasn't. How does that impact the growth of your market and the potential for your technologies?
Yes. Because this technology is so disruptive, people might not be immediately used to an ambient product. But our double-blind taste test showed that the consumer just needs to try our product once. Because in comparison to frozen and chilled meat, our products actually won across all categories, from appearance, odor, taste, juiciness, softness, texture. So we just need them to try once. But having said this, we understand there's this consumer hurdle. So number one, we are doing consumer acceptance studies. And number two, we think food service and also other areas like cruise ship, space application or outdoor application where it...
Thank you so much. Exxon Food Technology, Felix Chung from Hong Kong. Thank you so much. Coming up next on stage, Marlo. From Canada, Nadia Ladak.
Hi everyone, my name is Nadia. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Marlo, and we're disrupting the $50 billion menstrual hygiene market. Now, growing up, I was a swimmer, and I became so frustrated when I had to pause life when on my period. On the one hand, tampons were pretty uncomfortable, and on the other hand, pads were bulky and didn't let me do the things I love to do, like swimming. And I wasn't alone. I learned that whether it was your first period and you were experiencing nerves, or you were premenopausal experiencing dryness, this problem was truly multi-generational. In fact, 1 in 3 women experience dryness around their menstrual cycle, which is over 1.2 billion women worldwide, really showing how widespread this problem is. And so our solution is the first and only lubricated tampon. It has a first mover advantage in this market, and it's the most environmentally sustainable tampon on the market to date. The customer dips their tampon into the lubricant for smoother and more comfortable insertion. We deliver the product through a direct-to-consumer subscription, so on our end, that results in recurring revenue. And for the customer, if you think about all the subscription products out there, it's quite literally the 1% product they know they'll need every single month for the next 39 years, really showing an exciting financial and lifetime value opportunity. To date, we've received our Health Canada and FDA approvals, and so we have the exclusive rights to make the claims around using tampons and lubricant together. We are in market generating revenue both through our subscription model as well as growing rapidly with 10 retailers across Canada and the US. We are being recognized as the leaders of the modern menstrual movement across the media, and we have over $1 million in funding both from investors as well as non-dilutive grants. Our team has a diverse range of experiences with expertise in management consulting like KPMG and creative direction at a magazine. We were awarded Canada's top 30 under 30 entrepreneurs, but more than that, our biggest strength is that we're building a brand that organically resonates with the modern consumer. And that's really the underlying magic of what we're doing. We're not just producing a product, we're building an entire community and a movement around our brand. And as culture shifts for people to prioritize their menstrual wellness, especially Gen Z consumers, we're at the forefront with our education destigmatizing periods. We have partnered with we have a community of over 50,000 menstruators, and that allows us to acquire customers cost effectively and to retain them as part of our community with an over 92% retention rate. We are also ranking #1 for key questions that our customers are searching around why does my tampon hurt, almost being a bigger sister and an advice figure for our community. We have partnerships with over 100 micro-influencers, PR outlets, as we generate buzz and excitement around our brand. But we won't stop there. We are going to be a one-stop shop for all things reproductive wellness, with new retailers, with new international markets, and continuing to expand into new reproductive health products. And with this plan, we'll grow to $12 million in revenue within the next 4 years, with a 70% gross margin. And we're on track to close a $1 million seed round. We only have $300,000 left of it yet. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. 2 minutes for Q&A.
So can you talk about the portability of the product?
Yes, definitely. So we made it travel size. It's 30 milliliters. A lot of people just toss it in their bag or their purse. Eventually, one of our evolutions of the product is to make a standalone lubricated tampon, so something that comes pre-lubricated. This was the quickest way to get to market and test the demand. We're seeing a lot of uptick on it, and people are really excited. People like this, especially if they have a strong need for the product, and then we can eventually evolve to that kind of a product as well.
And of the $12 million revenue forecast, how much of that is this core product versus product expansion?
Most of it will be from this product, but we'll also be doing into a lubricated menstrual cup as well as pads. So we will be diversifying, but majority of it will be this flagship product.
Can you tell us about your online sales experience?
Yes, so I worked at KPMG, and I was in our customer innovation team. I helped many big brands convert into their digital strategy. Other members of our team have e-commerce experience working at some of the leading telecom companies in Canada and helping to build those digital marketing strategies. And I've also taken, other people on the team have also taken several e-commerce courses to learn about digital marketing as well.
Can you patent your product or technology? I just want to understand what high barrier of entry that you are creating so that it's not easy to copy.
Definitely. So we work with the leading IP lawyers in Canada, and we do have aspects of the product that are patentable. We also have trademarks on our product as well. But in the long term, some of the people who would be trying to copy this product would be the larger players like Tampax and Playtex. And we actually see them as strategic partners. They've been making a lot of acquisitions in this space. They acquired Dollar Shave Club, the direct-to-consumer Raise brand, for over $1 billion. They've also made acquisitions of personal care, deodorant brands for over $100 million. So really, we see it as an exit opportunity to be acquired by some of these larger players for access to our community and our data and the brand equity that we're building, in addition to the product innovation.
All right, 2 minutes are up. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the Entrepreneurship World Cup, one of the largest and most diverse startup pitch competitions and support programs of its kind. We're live from Saudi Arabia to the rest of the world. We're going to take a 10-minute break, and we'll be back with 10 more semi-finalists. Ladies and gentlemen, we will start in 30 seconds. Welcome back, and we're live again at the Entrepreneurship World Cup Global Finals, co-hosted by Jen and Munchaat. We look forward to 10 more semi-finalists. Coming up next on stage, Morpheus.Network from Canada, Carl McDermott.
Just checking you can hear me. Waiting for your colleague. Ready? Wait. No, wait. Okay. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury. My name is Carl McDermott. I represent Morpheus Network. We're a software company from Canada. We sell to large enterprises to help them simplify their supply chains. So we really believe if you fix supply chain, you've fixed the world. And if your world's Coca-Cola, then you're usually dealing with stacks of documents and literally hundreds of emails a day. And if your confidence in metrics like ETA has been broken. So our solution helps you connect your supply chain. We're really about embracing connectivity rather than replacing your systems and tearing them out. So our solution is based on 3 key pillars. We've got an API hub that has all the relevant integrations for a supply chain manager, whether it's connecting to SAP, connecting to document management, IoT and cold chain, insurance. We have a workflow engine which orchestrates the process from purchase order through to proof of delivery, and a portal to bring all that data in one place, one version of the truth. Now we have traction. With Coca-Cola, we've doubled their export volumes with the same team. With Gulftainer, the world's largest port operator based in the Emirates, we're solving the problem around gate out. And Federated Co-op, a top 3 retailer from Canada, we're helping them connect their core systems around their IBM mainframe, JD Edwards, and Oracle. We also have traction with partners. We've got a certified product with SAP and listing on the SAP marketplace. We launched this week our global offering, one-click insurance with Marsh, and we're working with lots of innovative partners in this region to provide cold chain and halal certifications. So we've also got traction in terms of rewards. We've been selected 4 times to Plug and Play, and just recently to the Google Accelerator. So we've tested our platform in the North American marketplace. Currently, we're focused in global agro, such as Brazilian protein exports to here to Saudi. Our revenue for this year will be about $1 million of recurring revenue. Our customers are happy, they're buying more, and we've got 10 $1 billion companies in the pipeline for the rest of the year. The power of our business model is that all our partners can help resell this solution. So 70% of our leads are now coming from the partners. So we've got a stellar team. Dan and Noam, the co-founders, they set up the origins. They brought on Roger and me, pre-product, pre-revenue. Roger ran DHL's global forwarding business, an $8 billion business. I have 35 years in supply chain and software. And we've also now brought on some new team members from Amazon, from DHL, some UPS, and from Project 44. So what's our ask? We want to work with leading Saudi corporations and institutions. We're excited about building our team and operation here, and we'd love to meet if you're an advisor or strategic partner. Thank you.
All right. 2 minutes for a Q&A.
The software likes of SAP and all you mentioned, they already have the procure-to-pay module, right? So pretty much all the procurement activity can be taken care. So what is that missing in their technology that they are looking for your products? And given that you have a partnership with SAP, can you extend that to other ERP like Oracle?
ERPs have been really good at automating an enterprise, but they're not really good at connecting to lots of stakeholders. And when you're talking about supply chain, you start with purchase orders, but you need visibility, you need IoT, you need document management. And that's where we're complementing the SAP, and that's why SAP invites us to co-innovate with them and build that connector.
And can you then extend that to Oracle, given that...
Yes. So with Federated Corp, they're using Oracle, and we're doing that connector right now.
Do you think it's easy for competitors to adapt similar solutions or system?
Yeah, IBM tried to be in this marketplace with TradeLens and Food Trust, and they actually canceled that project. And the reason is they built a monolithic solution that wasn't open to many enterprises. So we believe actually building an open platform makes a lot more sense. The competition really is Excel, it's Oracle, it's Excel, it's email, it's some of those personal productivity tools. That's what we're replacing, and some human muscle.
Can you tell us about your plans to diversify your leadership team?
Yes, so we've been lucky that we've been hiring from, I would say, top quality supply chain companies like Amazon, head of product, from Project 44, head of channels. So this year we've actually started with 4 or 5 key hires to actually build out the team.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's give it up for Carl McDermott. Thank you so much. And on stage, Posture AI from South Korea, William Choi. And happy birthday, William.
Hey.
Platform.
Yeah.
Hello. Oh, hi there. Hi there. My name is William Choi. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Posture AI, and we've developed a data management and analytic platform that solves back problems with AI-embedded sensors in posture-correcting products. And why does posture matter? Well, it is the #1 cause of disability worldwide. But about 5 years ago, I was getting really busy with life, and I wasn't taking care of my back. And I broke my back during a session at CrossFit, and I was debilitated for about 3 months. It had a tremendous emotional and financial impact on me and my family. And as a result, I decided that this was never going to happen to anyone else ever again. And so what I realized in this $250 billion market, it's actually revenues are estimated to hit over $1 trillion by 2030. And so what we've developed is a complete pain management platform where it's non-invasive, it's non-opioid, and as well as it's very simple and easy to use. And how we're doing that is that we're providing our sensored ergonomic devices. First, by providing our ergonomic shirt that comes with a sensor that gives you a bit of an alert in order to sit or stand straight. And that's connected to our mobile app where users are now able to monitor and analyze their good and bad posture throughout the day with customized exercises and programs for your particular postural footprint. And it's connected to our SaaS platform where it provides very powerful data management and analytical tools for the corporate insurance, healthcare providers, and esports industries. And so when it comes to our data, we had completed our trial with better than expected results. We had over 90% of happy customers and over 80% of improved posture and reduced pain. And so our competitive advantage is the fact that we've really developed the most cutting edge and the most innovative solution on the market. Where, just to give you an example, where a lot of our solutions, competitive solutions out there, give you less than 1 hour worth of data. We quadruple that compared to the average competitor. And so we have a subscription model. We don't charge for the devices, and we license our technology as a service. And we have a really great team. And what you don't see up here is that Dr. Shin is disabled, as well as Mr. Tran is a refugee. And I'm really honored to say that over 60% of our employees are women, and helping us grow this company and have a very clear roadmap and trajectory over the next couple of years. And so,
all right, we're done. Thank you so much, William. And we've got 2 minutes.
Join us
Q&A
to change the way the world sits, sleeps, and moves one posture at a time.
Thanks for reminding us all to sit up straight while you were presenting. Tell us a little bit about who is the actual payer for your product. You say it's a license. Who is
insurance companies, mostly. So they pay for the product as well as the end user, such as the employee. So it depends on which market we're operating. In the EU, it would be the payer would be the insurance company, as well as in the US, we would be working with private and public insurance companies as well.
So the doctor is prescribing
Yes.
this?
Yes, correct. Yeah, but as well, under the corporate wellness programs, the employer would pay for it to provide to the employee to increase productivity and reduce the cost and reduce the risk of pain. Yeah. And in terms of our esports market, the athletes, they pay for it directly as well as with the gamers.
When it comes to wearing continuously for your correction of the postures, right? Have you analyzed how the sensor can be safe for the health and safety for the body?
Sorry, for the...
Yeah, there are a lot of sensors connectors, right?
Yeah.
So how is continuously using will be safe for the health?
But it's really, let's say, when you go and tell them, let's say nobody else knows it better than I do.
Hello? Sorry. So basically, sorry, I missed the question, I'm sorry.
My question was, there are a lot of sensors connected to the body. So in terms of the health and safety, have you analyzed that or assessed?
Oh, yeah, so we are on the track to be FDA and CE approved. So basically, it's a lifestyle product, but you could use it in a controlled environment in the clinics as well as when you're at home as well. So in terms of safety, we pretty much worked through all of that, and we will be KFDA approved by the end of this year.
Yes, you have 91% happy customers, which is a very good rate. But can you tell us about the comments of the remaining 9%?
The remaining 10%?
Unhappy customers. What were their comments?
Oh, the comments were, they really appreciated the fact that it was very simple for them to use, right? So they just put it on and they were just able to move forward and just work and walk around and have the alert function as well as be able to analyze and see their history.
And about the 9% unhappy.
The 9% unhappy, yeah. So basically, they said, well, some of it worked, and they just stopped using it. So in terms of the stickiness of the product, usually our turnaround has actually been pretty good with overnight.
William, thank you so much. 2 minutes are up, and we can sing happy birthday for you, but I gotta get the semi-finalist who's next on stage. All right, coming up, Safe Andre Kulo from the United Kingdom.
Hi, everyone. First of all, I would like to we really appreciate the opportunity from this amazing kingdom. I'm Andre Coelho, CEO and founder of Safe. Safe is a facial recognition provider focused on financial service and secure transactions authentications. And we focus in this secure industry because we have a world-class performance at NIST. This market is huge. The total addressable market is more than $500 billion. The obtainable market is over 2 digits already, over $10 billion. So what we offer is a platform for facial recognition authentication with strong liveness detection that it's able to detect if it's a real user, a person in front of the camera. Also, our company is recognized by the National Institute of Software and Standards from the US among the 15 best results in terms of recurrency. And we charge, as a SaaS per authentication, 1/5 of a cent. And we do this very competitive price because we focus not only on the onboarding, but in the whole process of authentication in a user journey. So we do grow. We had 5 times growth in the past 3 years during the pandemic period. And we have very important clients, not only in South America and Europe, but now in Japan, where there are very large competitors, like Marubeni, the biggest bank of Brazil, and large fintechs. The product we have, we are always updating our SDKs, but we are happy to release here that we are going to launch a product next month that will be the first face bureau that it's anonymized. All the information is going to be encrypted, and we are going to create this network only on the information of the behavior of this network. So this is our team. As you can see, my background is from investment banking. My co-founder and CTO who created the proprietary AI technology we own is a PhD in Harvard, and we have a senior team of executives supporting us in Latin America and Asia. So we are looking to raise a Series A. We are going to start this roadshow soon. But we are really looking also to work with banks in this place. We really want to make this technology proprietary for the banks here. And we are the ones allowed. We even can install our technology on premises for banks in the MENA region. Tomorrow, I would like to say I'm visiting a bank, HSBC SAB, and we really want to visit and to talk with other financial institutions, not only here, but we started also and stepped a footprint in the UAE, and Abu Dhabi and Dubai. We really appreciate again. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. 2 minutes for Q&A.
I'm not understanding what's unique, novel, and distinguished from your competition. Can you give us details?
Sure. First, we are a British company. Really good competitors. They are from China or Asia, where really hard for them to work in this side of the world where we are. But the main differentiator is the NIST from the US government that put us in the top of the road. And this month, they also released a new test for the liveness detection, this technology that assured it's not a fraud, it's a real person taking the picture. And we are, in the first place, we were not frauded by the testing. Of course, there are other competitors, and the official results is coming soon. But the biggest differentiator is not only this, but also our price, that we are even competitive against Chinese, being a British company.
Is this limited to the financial institution like bank? I didn't understand why you emphasize on the bank side.
Not at all, but this industry is the one that needs more security, and it's where there is the volume for the price we charge. But for example, our shareholder and representative in Japan is selling first our technology for Marubeni. It's, for example, in industry like Ajinomoto for access control. But Marubeni is now releasing Marubeni Pay. That's what we like to do because there is volume.
What was the relationship with the financial inclusions in your opening slide?
Financial?
Financial inclusions, you mentioned.
Financial inclusions.
The opening slide.
So basically, most of our clients are financial inclusions, so financial institutions. 10 of 12 clients, they are fintechs or banks. I don't know if was that the question, but I couldn't understand well.
Yeah, you mentioned that you will target customers with reduced pricing. How would that impact your overall return?
So basically, we have this competitive pricing to really don't impact the operation of our clients.
Andre Coelho, thank you so much. I've got to cut you off. The 2 minutes are up. Thank you, Saf. Thank you, Andre, from the United Kingdom. Coming up next on stage, Block Solutions, Marcus Silverberg from Finland.
Dear all, there is a solution that can provide housing for 700,000 families and also cutting down the carbon emissions by over 7 million tons annually. My name is Marcus, and I'm here to tell you about this opportunity. Keep it simple, that's what we call. Anyone can build a house in just 2 days using our technology. The moment is like this. The world is drowning in plastics, and there is an overwhelming need for housing in the world. We want to solve this problem. The market is actually $5 trillion, and we are aiming to reach a $2.1 billion market share with 350 global factories by end of 2030. This is what we do. First, we deliver an injection molding machine factory to our partners, and then they start producing the blocks locally. So we collect plastic waste and also fibers, we compound it, we injection mold them into building blocks, and then the customers start building houses. This is a school that we built in Lombok in Indonesia last year. It took us only 6 days to build this school. We're now building 200 additional schools and also 5,900 homes on that small island of Lombok. We can also build a home in just 2 days using our technology. We have two-sided license streams. So first, we sell a factory license, and then we have a recurring royalty for each block being produced in the factory. We have 4 existing factories in the world, and this is of our list of our ongoing factory projects in the world. In 12 to 18 months, we're aiming to have factories in all of these countries. We want to grow together with you. So we're looking for establishing hubs around the world. We have now 2 hubs in here, one in here in the MENA region and one in Asia. And we're seeking for partners to invest into these hubs. We're seeking for 2.5 million funding and in return for 20% equity in that specific hub. This is our global team. We hired people who are much better than me. So, this is what we want to do. We want to help millions of people, and we want you to participate in our endeavor for a greener future. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcus. 2 minutes for Q&A.
Can you talk about the lifetime value of a single factory?
So talking about lifetime value, in what perspective, in that sense?
So if somebody wants to have a license with you,
yes,
you send a factory, begin manufacturing the blocks and building homes.
Yeah.
What is the economic value of that factory to you based on the fact that you're getting an upfront license and you're getting royalties?
Yes, of course. The main focus is, of course, for the local licensees to get a decent, let's say, turnover of the company. But let's say a turnover of a factory is about 4 million euros, and the profit is about 2 million. And we do get about 500,000 euros in revenue from the license fees from that factory.
Can you talk about the safety of the buildings, for instance, if there's an earthquake?
Yeah, actually, that's actually falling into our bucket. Because the thing is, the product is actually tested for a 9.4 Richter scale earthquake. So it's actually very, very safe to use, for example, in these areas of earthquakes. Also, let's say when it comes to fire safety, we're using cladding on the outside, so it's just to prevent also for the structure to get fire.
Given that you are able to reduce carbon emissions and you are, the schools that you're building, can you able to identify how much of the carbon emission you saved, and can you able to issue the, let's say, carbon credit?
Yeah, I can't. Oh, no, now I'm back over there. Yeah, so carbon credits, yes. Let's say if we build one school, it weighs about 30 tons. So we are actually cutting down the carbon emissions, in that sense, over 150 tons. So we could actually potentially sell those carbon credits in future.
Yes, you're expanding around the globe. So can you tell us more about your management team?
Sorry, we cannot continue the question or the answer because the 2 minutes are up. We'll give it up for Marcus Silverberg. Thank you so much, Block Solutions. Coming up next on stage, Project Bala, Soumya Dabriwal from India.
Greetings, I'm Soumya Dabriwal from Project Bala, and we are revolutionizing menstrual hygiene in India. As a volunteer teacher in Indian slums, I found that my girl students were skipping 3 days of school every month. Why? Can everyone look at the socks that you're wearing? In India, 1 out of 2 women are using these socks as menstrual absorbents, and the repercussions of this is mammoth. 40,000 women lose their lives, and 33% miss 2.5 days of work every single month. COVID has only made this worse. Project Bala was launched in 2018 to systematically challenge and solve each of these problems highlighted. We offer a unique 3-pronged solution. First, our award-winning awareness curriculum can be delivered via various innovative ways, like a gamified mobile app, and has been designed after direct conversations with 25,000 women. Second, our technically designed reusable sanitary napkins can be used for 2 years and are safe, hygienic, and eco-friendly. Third, in order to meet the demand generated through our awareness and product, we train and employ village-level women entrepreneurs who sell our Bala pads and earn a livelihood for themselves and the organization. Since 2018, we have 500,000 users who have switched to our eco-friendly pads and prevented 25,000 trucks of pad waste from being generated across 4 countries. With every dollar invested in our solution, there is a social return of investment of $10. We are the leaders in the rural eco-friendly market with a significant distribution and cost advantage, which makes it difficult for others to replicate and enter. We are a for-profit social business with 90% of our revenue coming from corporates, businesses, and institutions, and 10% coming straight from consumers through our network of sellers. We have grown 94% year-on-year since inception in 2018, with a 30% net profit margin overall. In the next 3 years, we aim to impact 2 million women and girls, expand our work into international markets, and push our B2C sales through our rural sellers to make Project Bala a household brand name. With your support, we can achieve our 2026 targets in the next 12 months. We want to bring a new innovation into India and take our scalable model into more international markets. With Ivy League MBAs driving the financial side and women's health experts with over 30 years of combined experience, we are perfect to revolutionize menstrual hygiene. This photograph is me in the same slum where I found that girls were skipping 3 days of school.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's give it up. 2 minutes for a Q&A.
India is a big market, I know that, and there are a lot of competitors already there, who's, you mentioned some in urban areas, some in different regions. I think you are starting from rural, which is again
Yes.
challenging in terms of the reaching out to the end users. So, and I saw your revenue; it's more dependent on CSR, contributions than your 10% direct to consumer. So, how are you going to plan to increase that?
So that's a great question. We launched our B2C channel in the last 12 months because 78% of the communities that we'd done our free distributions in wanted to buy our pads. So we discovered this propensity to pay and willingness to pay for our sanitary napkins, and hence our B2C channel is very new and only contributes to 10% of our sales today. But that is our focus for the next few years, where in the next 3 years, we want that to be 50% of the mix, and we are on track into doing that. And in terms of our competitors, we have a lot of competitors, but we've uniquely positioned ourselves in rural India and sustainability. And I think where we've really made a difference is the way we've accessed very tough markets. Because menstruation is not an easy conversation, especially in cultures such as ours, where there's so much myths and taboos. So we've built these really interesting hyper-local partnerships, as well as our network of entrepreneurs and sellers who give us very good access into difficult markets of India and villages of India.
How does the app fit into this? We heard Jeff say earlier, do one thing and do it well. How does that fit?
So we are only focusing on menstrual hygiene, but we want to be very good at what we do. And the app features here for the training of trainers. The awareness curriculum is extremely important for us as an organization because that, of course, generates education, but it also generates demand for our product through our trainers spread all over the world. So we're in Nepal, India, and Africa.
Thank you so much. Let's give it up for Sumia. Project Bala. Coming up next on stage, OACP. Enrico Diotto from Ireland.
Hi. Hello, everyone. My name is Enrico, and I am the CEO of OACP. In OACP, we are saving lives by making crucial DNA tests for cancer and infections faster and more accessible. DNA tests are crucial for cancer diagnosis, to define the right diagnosis and the right therapeutic approach. Unfortunately, the lack of efficiency of traditional DNA tests for cancer diagnosis is causing increased test time. That means an additional 10% in death risk among patients and increased cost, considering that in the US only 20 billion are wasted every year. OACP now brings to the market the solution. We provide laboratories with chemical reagents that improve DNA reactions efficiency for cancer diagnosis. By adding our drop of our chemicals during test procedures, laboratories can perform tests 97% faster. That means 2-hour test, saving 50% of the overall test cost in a better way. This is possible thanks to our proprietary and outstanding technology. The patent is granted in Europe, China, India, and the US, cover a wide range of applications, and got the approval for medical usage in Europe. We are addressing a first market that's worth $2 billion USD, and it is a growing market thanks to new therapies, new biomarkers, and unfortunately, new patients. We have competition, but we are faster, more cost-effective, and labs don't need no equipment or new training to adopt our technology. Just buy it, use it, and take benefit out of it. We are on the market since 2019. We are covering over 17 countries globally, thanks to our distribution network in Europe, Oceania, Japan, South Korea, and India as well. And we are selling mainly to hospitals, laboratories, and university. I refer to our A team that shares over 100 years of experience with complementary skill set in cancer diagnosis myself, business development, R&D, and sales and government negotiation. With our combination of technical skills, we reach an exponential traction, doubling sales year by year, reaching a cumulative sales of 1 million euros in the past years, and we signed a partnership with Roche, and this year, just 1 week ago, we are starting negotiating another partnership with a multinational company. We reach easily with above over 50 million sales in a few. We are now looking for your support. We are looking for funding, 2.7 million USD with a clear deployment plan, and contact to enter in this market. Thank you for your attention. I hope you would like to support us, because less time for diagnosis is more time for life.
Thank you. All right, 2 minutes for Q&A.
Yes, you mentioned that the market value is expected to be 2 billion in 2026. What's your expected market share?
Oh, thanks for the question. So at the moment, we have potentially access to 20% of the market being partnered with Roche, which is the leading player. So if we succeed in integrating our product with Roche automatic platforms, the accessible market is almost 400 million per year.
So what has kept you from growing faster than you have? What is it you don't have that you need, other than capital?
Basically, two factors. First of all, COVID, that disrupt negatively the cancer diagnostics market, and also because it is a very barriered and regulated market with huge players, and we spend more time in converting, let's say, competitors like Roche to partners. So now it's a machine that starts moving easily, but once it starts moving, it will grow faster.
Sorry, just to understand, are you selling a DNA kit?
We are selling chemical reagents that go companion with actual kits the laboratory already have in the labs. From a commercial point of view, we can sell the total components for kits, but our proprietary technology and, let's say, key selling point is our reagent.
You mentioned Abbott as your competitors,
yeah.
Right? So, and again, you're collaborating with Roche.
Yeah.
So is that not easy for Abbott to catch up quickly what you're doing?
Yeah, so we hope to create a kind of tension, competitive tension, so to turn Abbott from a competitor to a partner as well. So, but it's still a competitor right now.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Let's give it up for Enrico Diotto from Ireland, OACP. Coming up next on stage, NDR Medical Technology, Aileen Go from Singapore. Ladies and gentlemen, Alan Go from Singapore, NDR Medical Technology.
We are building the world's most advanced surgical robot for early stage cancer treatment, automated by AI. I believe many of us have experienced, either for ourselves or for our loved ones, speaking to doctors about late stage cancer, treatment plans, as well as the risk of operation. Because we rely on the doctor's experience to identify abnormality on the medical images, and we rely on their skills to maneuver tools on our body. The risk of an injured organ or ruptured vessels is very high. In actual fact, late diagnosis can get hospitals sued, as well as surgeons being bankrupt by my malpractice. And this cost the US about $5 billion in 2021. Every year, 2.2 million people are diagnosed with lung cancer, but only 1 in 5 survive because of the inability to detect and treat cancer in the early stage. 75% of all this life could be saved if you are able to treat the cancer when it's small. So at NDR Medical, we develop and train our AI to be able to detect tumor when it's 1 cm and smaller. And we are able to differentiate vessels and organs in 3D, hence finding different pathways for the robots to navigate the space for more accurate ease as well as safety to access the nodule. With our patented technology, we're the first company in the world to automate image-guided biopsy, cancer biopsy, as well as tumor ablation. Our first generation X-ray product has already been used on 82 patients, received Europe CE certification, pending FDA approval because we just submitted last month. Our CT-guided robot for lung access has just started human trials in Japan early this year. Sorry. The learning curve is very short, as well as it's very fast, easy to use, without even having to stop the patient's breathing. It's very accurate, and the procedural time is shortened, hence saving a lot of money for the hospitals. We are selling direct to the hospitals through our distributor as a capital equipment. There's a per charge consumable, sterile consumable. There's recurring revenue from our software license, as well as maintenance contract. The addressable market is about $37 billion just by selling our product. We have world surgeons, as well as renowned interventional radiologists from Netherlands, Singapore, and Japan. We have total 11 units deployed in the market, 4 letters of intent to purchase after approval and trials. Founded by renowned engineers from A-Star in Singapore, I've gathered surgeons, AI specialists, as well as medical professionals to bring this product into the market. We are expanding.
Thank you so much. All right, Alan Go from Singapore, NDR Medical Technology. 2 minutes for Q&A.
One of the products that you highlighted, is it a portable robotic robot of a portable robotic surgery equipment?
Hello. Yes, we are building robots in cooperation with AI. So our AI detect the tumor, find the path, and the robot, our robot will come in to help access the nodule.
Is it a portable, or is it the, how big is this?
The first robot is used in the operating theater. The second robot is integrated with the CT. So it's an intraoperative CT-guided biopsy or ablation. It's used in the hospital, in the operating theater.
Can you please elaborate more on your customer base? Do you sell directly to hospitals, or?
Yes, the direct hospital, it will be surgeons as well as interventional radiologists. Hospital will buy the equipment for the doctors to treat the patients. Because of the time saving, hospital will be able to return of investment within a year, within less than 100 cases.
And what are the main hospitals that you're dealing with?
Right now, we are dealing with hospitals from Japan, Malaysia, and Singapore, as well as Netherlands, as I've shown just now. But we have collaboration contracts right now with UCI, Stanford Healthcare, MSKCC, mainly in the States. The reason why we are fundraising is because we have a lot of trials ongoing, and we are moving to the US to get this device validated.
And you focus on lung cancer. Tell us about other applications.
Lung cancer is because we need to train the AI data to detect lung tumor. So we have requests from doctors to go into liver, spine, as well as brain procedures. We just need the data to train the data sets. But the robot itself can be used to puncture any of the anatomy.
What kind of business skills are on the team? Lots of scientists and deep expertise. What is the business acumen to commercialize and build the business?
Okay. Before starting my company, actually I was in a venture company commercializing and investing in medtech, biotech startups. I have someone from Terumo, Medtronics, with 20 years of experience bringing products to the market.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's give it up for Alan Go from Singapore, NDR Medical Technology. Coming up on stage, Eintech, Thomas Hoodley from Chile.
Hi, I'm Thomas Hoodley, CEO of Eintech, and I am known as the Impossible Man. Impossible because after years of work and R&D, we achieved a unique technology called TFT, and it's the next industrial revolution. Impossible because we built the biggest laboratory in Latin America, that one. Impossible because our technology can stop the overexploitation of mining. Impossible because we are reinventing the chemical industry, a $5 trillion titan. Impossible because we are stopping the devastation of the natural resources due to the high demand for consumer goods. by reducing all kinds of natural resources needed for production by 90%, while we reinvent the periodic table. Imagine atoms being Legos, the building blocks of everything around us. Until now, it was impossible to manipulate them individually, forcing industry to use chunks of them. By integrating predictive data and recursive machine learning, we can design, discover, and synthesize at an industrial level any advanced material. It's revolutionary. For example, this single bottle of our product saves 90% of the required resources in the concrete industry, a game changer for logistics and the industry. Also, we have solutions like this one for other industries such as fossil fuel, agriculture, among others. With our 8 pending patents, we have sold over $8 million of additives and royalties with our customers in 9 countries. They use our technology to sell the final products to large industries. That is our business model is. And the results speak for themselves. That is real market fit and real resource optimization. For example, just Walmart in Chile is reducing over 80 Olympic pools of water per year. And we are proud to have closed our seed round. And we already have committed 10 of 20 million of the next round in the for the international expansion. And obviously, none of this will be possible without our multidisciplinary teams of researchers and collaborators that pushing the boundaries. Now, we are looking for networking and investors interested in climate tech. Our nanoscale materials are revolutionizing how the world uses resources, a breakthrough that enables the future by using less to create more. Thank you.
So much. Thank you. Thomas Oatley. 2 minutes of question and answer.
With the mic.
I just want to understand, like, who will be your consumer? Is it like FMCG company? Is that what you're targeting for the customers?
Sorry, I have consumers and clients. Clients are a chemical industry that requires some specific innovations in some specific field. And the consumers are going to be the clients of that chemical industry. I don't know if I answered your question.
I actually have the same question. I'm not 100% sure that I'm super clear on what the uniqueness is here. So use this example. Tell us what.
Yeah, for example, that
this.
product in particular allowed concrete companies reduce by 70% the quantity of sand required in the concrete fabrication and reduce the water consumption by 30% per cubic meter.
So what would the economics of something like this be?
Sorry?
What would the economics of something like
the
this
economics
be?
is, well, it's going to depend case by case, but always we use, we have 3 philosophies. And the most important 2 philosophies of how we do business is environmentally friendly, but economically viable. So together we can do viable solution, avoiding the green premium. So an application like that is inside of the pricing structure of the client.
Thank you so much. Your time is up, Thomas. We'll give it up to Thomas Tech. Thank you so much. Coming up next on stage, Desert Control, Oli Christian Sivertsen from the United Arab Emirates.
I am Ole Christian Sivertsen, CEO of Desert Control, and I'm excited to share our vision of making Earth green again. You see, our planet is drying, fertile land is dying, and water scarcity accelerates in a vicious cycle. The annual cost of droughts and land degradation is hundreds of billions of dollars, and governments invest heavily in initiatives for drought mitigation and safeguarding agriculture, which now use more than 70% of all available fresh water on Earth. When soil turns to sand, even more water is needed to maintain life and grow food. In sandy soils, less than 15% of water is retained for plant use. Most is quickly lost to deep drainage, causing fertilizer washout, increasing costs, and lost productivity. Liquid natural clay is a nature-based solution to upgrade sandy soils with a larger storage bank. The liquid coats each grain of sand with an electrical charge that holds on to water like a magnetic force, creating a soil structure that retains water and nutrients like a sponge. One treatment lasts for 5 years or more with maintenance programs. LNC saves up to 50% on water and energy use while improving fertilizer efficiency, leading to higher yields, better crop quality, and increased profit. If you think it sounds too good to be true, note that LNC is backed by 12 years of R&D, followed by 5 years of independent validation and field pilots with consistent results. The addressable market is huge, and our initial focus is the UAE and the US, targeting sandy soil areas affected by drought and water scarcity. Clients are farmers, landowners, and governments. Our business model is turnkey projects priced by hectare or number of trees, combined with various services for additional revenue streams. Commercial agreements are signed in the Middle East and the United States. The first salespeople have joined, and the pipeline grows with solid tailwinds from government initiatives and positive customer references. As a result, LNC is deployed to more acreage in the last 3 months than over the previous 5 years combined. We're a team of 53 intelligent and passionate people with strong leadership to execute our mission. We welcome investments in our company, growth advice, and discussions on potential clients and projects. To discuss opportunities, please reach out to me. Thank you very much.
All right. You're 19 seconds earlier, but okay, 2 minutes for Q&A.
Can you revisit your business model, please? You went through that very fast. How do you make money exactly?
So very fast, project-based revenue. So we price it by hectare or acre or number of trees. So tree pricing can be anything from $25 to $45, depending on the size of the trees or type of trees.
So what is the value of the contracts you have in hand?
So the value of the contracts we have in hand, one of the recent contracts in the United States was a pre-project for 4,000 trees for $183,500. The pricing per tree breaks down to about $46 per tree in this model. The customer has a total of 190,000 trees. The average price per tree will come down somewhat for the full rollout.
You are already entered into the UAE market and to further expand to the other MENA market. So do you require a government partnership or it can be done with the private as well?
Yeah, I think the government partnerships will be very important to unlock the really big opportunities, both in the UAE and as well here in Saudi, for initiatives such as the Saudi Green Initiative and the Middle East Green Initiative.
Can you tell us more about some of these other revenue streams that have longer tails to them?
Some of these other revenue streams are some of the initial parts that we do, and connect to them as well the digital services, because we need to demonstrate the value and the performance of LNC over time, which as well can deliver key indicators such as water usage, water use efficiency, fertilizer use efficiency, etc., as subscribable revenue services.
The data that you're collecting, is that something which you can use it for further analysis, or is it like limited to the owner of that?
All right, sorry to cut you off. 2 minutes are up. Thank you so much. Let's give it up for Oli Christian Sivertsen, Desert Control from the United Arab Emirates, and the final semi-finalist, Entech Lab from Cyprus, Robert Kuskilidin.
Hello, my name is Robert Kuskildin. I'm head of investor relations at Entech Lab. Assalamu alaikum to Saudi Arabia. I'm very excited to be here since we are on a very amazing growth track, which I'm going to tell you about right now. So, yeah. So Entech Lab, basically, we are an artificial intelligence company. So what do? So we empower video analytics powered by artificial intelligence. So we do different kind of recognition, action recognition, face recognition, object recognition, and many things else. So we were one of the best in the world in terms of accuracy, precision, and the quality of our neural network. We took one of the best places in NIST and other different competitions. And at some point, we decided that we need to move on. And here, our concept of smart city has arisen. I want you to focus on that slide, which is very important. So in the smart community, what do? We prevent crime. So we search for missing people. We provide security in the crowded places. In the smart healthcare, we do artificial intelligence tool in diagnostics, treatment, planning, and rehabilitation. We do smart finance, face pay, and smile pay. We do intelligence retail, traffic analysis, watch list. Here are some facts about our how do we help society. We implemented one of the best smart city projects in the world by connecting more than 150,000 cameras. And the results are amazing. So through the years, the crime rate has decreased by 40%. So we help the elderly in the retirement homes. We find missing people. So hundreds of missing people in that project were found. And for businesses, we boost productivity. We cut losses of the businesses, and etc. Here's how our business model looks like. So we work with system integrators, resellers, hardware. We are purely software producer, and our clients are B2B and B2G. Here are the facts which I also want you to focus on. As I mentioned, we are #1 in technology. So our algorithms are the most accurate, the most precise, and our revenue hit $25 million USD with 50% recurring revenue. We are present in 35 more countries, headquartered in Cyprus, and has offices in São Paulo, Abu Dhabi, Dubai. Basically, that's our team. It's 230 professionals. Half of them are R&D. And what we are doing, we need a vision. We look for your support. We want to create more neural networks and open new offices. And
all right, your time is up.
Thank you.
2 minutes. Sorry, 2 minutes for a Q&A, please. Thank you.
Yes. Can you please elaborate on the or smart finance solution that you have?
Sure. Let me return back to the slide. For the finance, basically what we do, we create a platform which can be, for example, onboarding, easy onboarding. So your face is used in order to compare that with the document, and then you can also make large transactions by using face as a second factor. You can do KYC in order to onboard the process of finance. And for retail, for example, we have some of our clients who basically don't want shoplifting in their field. So we recognize those shoplifters, and in the future they can influence.
And what is your main competitive advantage?
competitive advantage. I would say the first is the accuracy. The second is the concept of smart city, because how we think, how we develop, we can implement our solution in many different industries, and that's basically it.
Who's your biggest competitor?
I think for ourselves, our biggest competitor is companies in China like Megvii, SenseTime, government financing them very much, putting them a lot of money. But we develop organically. So we were strong in video analytics, and then we go further, and then we improve our technology and develop further. Yeah, that's how it is. And basically, we realized one of the largest smart city project with more than 150,000 cameras, and we developed there with that project in more than 5 years.
In China, actually, there's a lot of government push happening in terms of collecting this facial recognition data.
I'm sorry to cut you off again. 2 minutes are up. Thank you so much. Let's give it up.
First question next time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of the pitching round for the 20 semi-finalists, while the judges will tally their scores to determine who will advance to the finals on Sunday. 5 of the 20 only will go to Sunday. I'll bring back to the stage now Jonathan Ortman and Ana Maria Torres, the director for EWC. Jonathan and Ana Maria will lead us into recognizing the amazing accomplishment of the members of the EWC 100. Please, the stage is all yours.
Okay, just to remember everybody, we would like to recognize those of you that didn't get to have a chance up on the stage. So we're waiting for the calling. Thank you.
Let's do it. First, we'll start with Innova Tech, Vinicio Vargas from Costa Rica.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm going to give this to you. Can you give it back to them?
Okay.
Next on stage, Al Guru, Khalid Abu Ghasem from Saudi Arabia. All right. Coming up on stage, Asia Mobility, Ramachandran Monyande, Malaysia. Next on stage, Eco Building Technology, Daniel Edgar Rivera Varnezza, Piro. Coming up on stage, Gigi Den, Farouk Sarfraz, Pakistan. Next on stage, Hub Shop, Tigran Shakhalyan from Armenia. Next on stage, Lateral, Erika De Rusio Gutierrez from Peru. Coming up on stage, Long Genesis, Emil Siondiojov from Latvia. Next on stage, Meditechni, Kevin Morales Chamorro, Nicaragua. On stage, Plastic Fry, Mohammed Al Mohammadi from Sweden. Coming up on stage, Repzo, Hassan Atme from Jordan. Coming up on stage, Selectivity, Jonathan Gubspan from Argentina. Coming up on stage, Trip, Reem Al Janebi from the United Arab Emirates. Coming up on stage, Vestigia Blockchain Solutions, Jose Manuel Avellino from Spain.
What's next?
Next on stage, 5DVR, Majid Faraj. Coming up on stage, VV Travel, Fabian Corridor. And next on stage, GLR Tech, Fabian Burman. We'll call back on stage Vivi Travel, Fabian Corridor. Next on stage, Health Trip, Danish Ahmed from India. Next on stage, Microbrain Biotech, Bernadette Bung from France. All right. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Anna Maria. Thank you so much. Would you like to be recognized as well, or what? Who? All right, great. We're going to wait for the judges to give us their final 5 finalists that will advance to Sunday's finals here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. We'll take a 10-minute break and we'll be back with the results. Stay tuned. We'll call on stage Kipuwex Limited, Marco Hoinala from Finland. Next on stage, Liberfly, Gabrielle Zanet Kohlert. I'll call on stage Facia Macarena Plaza Bolivia. Next on stage, Mogai Tech, Franco Machado from Brazil. And next on stage, Vitrovian MD, Eftikhar Sheikh from South Africa. Kipuwex Limited, Marco Hoinala. All right, Way Out International, Martin Renck from Sweden. All right, coming up on stage, Zephyr Aerospace, Jeffrey O'Neill from the United States of America. Next on stage, Real Sights, Billy T from Hong Kong. Thank you so much. We're done recognizing the rest of the semi-finalists that did not make it to this round. Jonathan and Anna Maria, thank you so much. We're going to wait for the judges to give us the results. Who will advance to the finals on Sunday? We'll know shortly. ladies and gentlemen, the results have arrived, and I have the 5 names right here. 50 started earlier today. 20 came on this stage. 5 will advance to Sunday's finals for a $1 million share prize pot. Who will join the 5 yesterday? I will announce them right now, but before, I want to thank the judges for the time and effort to make this happen. Thank you so much. Let's give them a round of applause. All right, are you ready? This is the moment we have been waiting for. I want to hear a good round of applause, please. A very high one. I'll announce the names while we applaud. Nah, this is very low. Let's push it up, please. All right, this is a 5. I want a 7, please. I want a 10. All right, there we go. 5 will advance to Sunday. Hera Health, congratulations. Come on stage, please. Marlow. Morpheus Network. NDR Medical. Are you ready? Give it up for Desert Control. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the 5 finalists that will advance to Sunday's finals tomorrow. Just take a picture. Congratulations. All right, give it up for them, please. One more time, congratulations. And that will take us to the end, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you tomorrow. Please join us for the finals on Sunday here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for tomorrow night.